Hi. Okay, we're back. It's writing. We got to get into our rough draft. Woohoo! Here we go. Okay. Now, you have a spiral. It came in your supply bucket. Mine is yellow. Yours may be a different color. You know it's a spiral because it's got this metal spiral right here on the side. So whatever color you have, you're going to take it and you're going to rip out a piece of paper. I like to pick from the middle just because I don't know why. I just do. So here, I'm showing you how I do this. I open it up. I just pull and I rip. There we go. It's like having paper, but without all the little loose paper. So this is my pre-write. And remember, I'm not going to throw these things away because teachers love to see your writing process. And that is something that we do look at on report cards. So make sure that even when you're all finished with your writing, you just put it in you got two folders. I have my green one that I have my work to do, and I have my yellow one that I use for my finished work. So just make sure that you put it in there. I've also got all of my math that I've got in here. See, there's my writing from last time. I've got my reading packet stuff. Because at some point, probably towards the end of October, I'm guessing, just talking to our other teachers, third grade will probably have to do a drop-off where we drop off all of the papers that we've done so far so your teachers can see your work so far. Unless we're back in person. Who knows? So I've got my pre-write, and now I'm going to get my rough draft going. I'll move this folder so we can see better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this under here so I can just see this. Just it calms me. Now remember, we get to do a title at the top. If you're not sure, you can just write title for now. If you have an idea, you can write it. And then I'm going to put my name just because I want to remember to put that on my typed paper. And remember, your name is a proper noun. Proper nouns and proper nouns get capitals. Proper nouns are places or people, names of businesses. So McDonald's gets a capital, Dollar Tree, capital letters, your name, capital letters, even that last name, it's important. Your proper. All right. So now I'm going to start my paper. Now remember, I do the X's on my paper so that I can skip lines. And we learned last time how helpful that was when we're revising and editing later, because then we have room to write the things that we're fixing. So I am going to start writing on this line, and I'm going to put a little arrow, really light, to remind myself to indent my paragraphs. And to indent, I will tell you how to do that when we get to typing. Again, as a reminder. Remember, we write on a line, we skip a line. Write on a line, skip a line. Write on a line, skip a line. So every other line, I'm going to put an X down my paper to remind myself, no, baby kitty, you don't write on that line. Okay, done. If I go to the back, which I probably will, I'll just X the back when I get there. Okay, I have my indent. This is where I'm going to start writing. I'm just going to work on my intro paragraph. I like doing it this way. Look, it doesn't seem so scary now, okay? It's just one box at a time. Oh, that makes me feel so much better. So I'm just going to start. I wrote this out already, so I'm just going to write that. See, I'm just writing it. You like a Christmas light? Sometimes it's fun to sing your words while you're writing. It helps you stay excited. Do you like Christmas lights? I do. Let me tell you all about. And remember, I'm skipping lines, not writing on that X line. How. I'm going to say, instead of how they were invented, I'm going to say how Albert, that's my inventor, Sadaka invented them. Then I've got his name too. So you know this paper is about Christmas lights and Albert Sadaka inventing them. Remember, your introduction needs to tell me what your whole paper is going to be about. You now know my paper is going to be about Christmas lights and the guy who invented them, Albert Sadaka. There. Now I'm just going to move on down here. Boop, 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 boop. First paragraph. This is that early life or the beginning of all that information that they gave us about our inventor. Remember, I'm going to indent. Every box is a new paragraph and we need to indent it. So it says Edison and Howard did the first strands of light, but remember they were way too expensive. So I am just going to write about that in this first one. So I'm going to say the first strand of lights was not made by Albert. Edison. I should have done first names. Oops. Because now it sounds kind of funny where I'm just saying Edison and Howard. Maybe I'll go back and fix that when I revise. Edison and Howard were actually the first, should I say inventors or people? I've decided inventors. Inventors to string lights together. But here's the problem with it. They only made a few strands. It's true. They only made like, I don't know. Edison had one strand and then Howard had just some on a tree that he had decorated. So they didn't have a lot of the strands available. They only made a few strands and they were, woohoo, were very expensive. Exclamation point, because they were super expensive. It said to just put lights on one Christmas tree, it was $2,000. That's a lot of money. So all I did was I looked at the notes that I had made here about the first strand of lights, or just that early part of the invention. And I just wrote about that here, remembering what I had read. And I just put it in my own words, okay? If you're not sure, remember you're just going to do your best. It's the beginning of 3rd grade. I don't expect you to be amazing. I have had years and years of practice with my writing. I also love writing, so I do a lot more practice with it. I don't expect yours to be really thought out, and I don't expect maybe some of your sentences don't quite make sense, and that's okay because it's the beginning of 3rd grade. What is important is that you try. You're going to try right now, and you're going to keep working on it to get better. We're never going to be perfect. Nothing ever is perfect, but we are going to work and try and get better as we go. This is your first informational paper, so it is not going to be shiny and glowy and, I mean, might, but it doesn't have to be, okay? So if you're like, Ms. Emma, I don't know, what I want you to do, stop, you flipped your lid. That means that your brain has turned off, and the only thing that can think is that panic, or you just want to be mad and fight something, or you're just scared and you want to sit and cry in a hole. So to turn your brain back on, oxygen. So we're just going to take some deep breaths. Maybe you're going to do the finger tracing trick where you breathe in, up the finger, down, like a roller coaster. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then we've calmed and we can move on, okay? Don't panic. We've got this. All right. I have my introduction. I have my first paragraph. I'm going to do one more today. If you would like to do all of yours today, you may. It's your choice. You have 2 days to work on this rough draft. Plus, there will be a little bit of a Wednesday catch-up time in the middle. So if you want to work on it more on Wednesday, you can. All right. I kind of wrote this one out already, so I'm kind of excited because this one should be pretty easy for me to write out. So remember, I indent my paragraph. That's this next box. It's a new topic. We're talking about the adult, the first ideas, either the adult life or the first ideas. Mine's the first ideas of my inventor. So because it is a new paragraph, new topic, well, not topic, but new information, I'm going to indent and I'm going to say Albert was a teenager and his family, just writing what I had wrote down for my notes, owned a lighting store. He was upset lights were so expensive. I added that, by the way, from my notes because I remembered. He thought everyone should have lights at Christmas. I also remember it saying that he also realized that if his family made the lights, they would make a lot of money, which would help his family's store because it was their own little store. So I'm going to add that on the end. See, as I'm writing, sometimes my ideas come to me of what I've read, the information. He thought everyone should have lights at Christmas. He also thought that if his, oops, I got to go on to the next page. That's okay. If his, put a little arrow, flip it over, family made the lights, then, oops, skipping lines. See, I should have done this in the beginning. I should have known. Skipping lines, your stuff just goes a little bit longer, and that's okay. That's why it's nice that this paper is double-sided, huh? Family made the lights, then they would make a lot of money. Now, to remind myself where I left off, I'm going to do a little indent here so I know I'm starting a new paragraph. I'm going to come up to my little pre-write here, and I'm going to say, I wrote my introduction, I wrote this early one, and I wrote the first ideas of the intervention. That means on my second day, I just have the later life and the conclusion. So remember, you've got tomorrow, Wednesday, that you can work on this too if you want to, just because you want to get a little bit of a jump ahead, and that's okay. Or you can wait until Thursday when we come back to this and we write this, and then you finish up your rough draft. Your choice. Okay, kiddos? All right. Have fun writing. Remember, if you need to breathe, you can try our little finger trick or just take some deep breaths, okay? All right. See you next time.